are the possibilities of a total gender swap on Spock?
You know, the truth is, I think probably everybody here would think seriously about doing something like that. At the same time, I think we must stay true to what canon is and has been. And at the end of the day, I feel like that would probably be something that would not feel like it's synced up with canon in the way that we are aiming to do now. But of course, it's an interesting idea.
And you are the first person who's asked that all day.
You are, ever, I think.
What's it like to be making a series about hope and discovery and exploration in 2018?
It feels essential. It feels like hopefully we can help make a difference, maybe a little bit. You know, spreading this this vision of the future. Maybe it can bleed into the present for people a little bit. Maybe.
I think we have to try and set an example for people, especially at a time when so many people feel disenfranchised. Trek has always been about unity on every level, diversity on every level, and the greatest gift of it is that it's an assumption, and that is clearly not the way the world is working right now. So we really hope that the message of Trek can reach everybody, and I think this is a world as we would like to see it.
Have any of you heard from fans or people out there that your role or your part or using this inclusion that is in Discovery has impacted anyone?
Absolutely. I think we all have had the gift and pleasure of hearing it a lot, which is, it's such confirmation of the power of it, and of people being able to see themselves and not just see themselves, but see themselves at their greatest potential. So we love it. We hear a lot. We're grateful that people share their love with us. So it's a gift.
What's it like being here now, right now in this time where you guys have claimed this new space?
Well, this is my first time. I wasn't here last year. They announced me here last year, and I got all the tweets later. But for me, it's just been incredible to be here with this specific group of people having this experience and really giving the message of hope, which is what Star Trek is really about in this time when people are feeling a little hopeless. And so if we can gift them a little bit of hope in this moment, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, but that's really, that's what Gene Roddenberry did best, is that Star Trek really began, from the beginning, Star Trek, it starts from the assumption that humanity will eventually prove itself to be fundamentally good. You know, and that's an incredible optimism that is fun to play with.
Well, speaking of hope, Wilson, you being here gives me hope to see your character again. I heard he's coming back. How?
How about that? Oh, if I told you how, I'd get fired in a moment. But yes, I can confirm that, yes, I'll be back. And, you know, part of the fun is going to be watching how that happens. But, you know, we've always said that this is, you know, a chapter in a very epic love story. And what happened last season needed to happen for us to, in order for us to be able to save not only the world and the universe, but all universes. And that's what this love was capable of doing. And so we're celebrating that.
Alex, I heard there's a possibility that you guys are casting a new Spock.
We are. We are casting a new Spock. It's not just a possibility, it's been done.
I'm curious, what are the essential qualities of a good Spock?
Actually, it's a really interesting question. And Anthony and I were talking about this earlier today. Everybody assumes that just because Spock is all about logic that there is no emotion in there, and that's entirely untrue. So finding an actor who can convey what we know to be very Vulcan, but also reveal so much emotion in the eyes and in the small gestures, so you understand there's just a tornado of things happening under the surface is critical. And so you need an actor who can do both of those things at the same time, which is very challenging.
Doug, congratulations on winning the Oscars and all the love that you got this year.
Thank you.
Deserved.
Thank you.
I'm curious, what's it like to bring an entirely new species to Trek? Is that something you were nervous about? Is that like a burden, or are you exciting and new?
All the above, because tremendous responsibility to start. You know, we're entering the Kelpians into canon, so what I do becomes part of that for any Kelpians in the future, or yeah. So, oh gosh, what do you say? But I very much, like any character I take on, is how do you make this one different than the other 28,000 I've played in my career? But the writers have absolutely informed such a beautiful heart and full story for him. I've gotten to know Saru better than any character I've ever played before because I've just delved into him in so many layers and gone so deep with him, more than anything I've ever played in my 30-year career.
And how is everyone Klingon? How's everyone Klingon from when we started until now?
You mean the language?
Yeah, how is it?
It's Mary's the
Yeah,
she's practically
I'm
fluent.
working on it. Well, I really can read and write it pretty well. I could like if someone started speaking to me, I have my phrases like "chokufmoch," you honor me, but I don't speak when I'm not in my full prosthetic. But the symbols are pretty. I mean, they're derived from English language. Mark Okren, the Klingon dictionary. But when I get the text now, I can pretty much know which sounds are correlated to which symbols, which is really fun. And I've always really enjoyed voice and speech and dialects, and that was such a fun endeavor too, creating a dialect for Laurel when she speaks English. So it's been fun with our coach, Rhea Nolan. We continue to kind of explore how it continues to evolve, and it's just such an honor because it's the largest living fictional language. And so, there are people out there that are paying very close attention to what we're doing. So we try and honor it as best as possible.
And there were a lot of Star Trek firsts this year. First swear. Was there a lot of responsibility with that?
I did it.
Potty mouth.
Looking for reaction.
No, wait, what was the question?
What was it like reading that script and being like, I'm gonna say what?
I don't actually think it occurred to me when I first read it. It wasn't until afterwards, I think, that maybe
that it was
you,
acknowledged
like,
that was
that
the
it was
first?
the first
Yeah.
time, which was really fucking cool. It's so nice.
Well done there.
So nice to be part of like a legacy like that. And being part of any Star Trek legacy is awesome and an honor.
Well, also she was saying it about science, so it feels very Trek.